Jumping into metaverse projects now could pay off really big in 2022. Obviously, there's a lot going on with metaverse, and we're going to be diving into one of the big ones in this video. If you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. Really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe to the channel? By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, with all of that said, done, and out of the way, let's actually jump down to the desktop, take a look at this particular project in a little bit more detail and what our price expectations might be on the back of it. Okay guys, so we are talking about 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧. This is a project that we've been talking about for a while on the channel, but for clarity, we are not invested in it. And it is a project that has a lot of potential, but I do think that it has quite an ambitious roadmap to kind of get things actually across the line. With that being said, though, I do think this has got huge potential, specifically to catch that ride and catch and ride that wave to the upside in 2022. So basically, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧, their mission, if you will, is to be your own hero with the next-gen 3D technology. You can basically create your own 3D avatar, scan and create 3D NFTs, use hero token to transact. It is a project that has to that you have to really appreciate, you have to kind of really get into and understand exactly what they're trying to do and achieve. So I will leave a link in the description down below to their website, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧.io. They have a little video here, you can obviously get an idea of what's going on there. It is worth just kind of getting your head around what they're trying to do and why this project has been spiking up recently in a really big way. Okay, and obviously if we actually jump over to coin market cap, we can obviously see some of the information around this one, right? Currently trading at 21.4 cents. This is slightly down. I'll go through the chart in a second. So you can see that it's actually up today by 4.5%. Okay, so it's not too bad. And we've got $1 billion market cap, although it's unverified because the supply is unverified. For those who do not know, market cap is just a simple calculation of the last sold price, so 21.5, multiplied by the circulating supply. Okay, what it doesn't do is actually show you the amount of money that's gone into a project. It doesn't show you the liquidity of a project or anything like that. It's a very, very basic calculation. You shouldn't use market cap to judge whether something is valuable or not, because it actually doesn't show you value, it only shows you price. Okay, it's a good way to kind of rank your cryptocurrencies, but again, if there's a cryptocurrency with, let's say, $100,000 going into it but only 10 coins, it's going to be right up there at the very top, right? So it's important that we understand, last sold price multiplied by circulating supply equals market cap. And in the case of 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧 here, the circulating supply is not verified, therefore the market cap is not verified. Okay, so we can't use it as a way to kind of assess value, but we can use it as a way to assess price, okay, just on a bigger scale. So it's good that we understand that. Otherwise, there is 10 billion maximum supply, 9.7 total supply. We can obviously hover on here. The amount of coins that have already been created is 9.7 billion. Okay, so of the circulating 4.9, the other remains somewhere else. I haven't gone into the detail as to know where they are, but obviously doing your own research, which is I strongly recommend that you do. Hopefully you'll find out where the difference lies. Okay, and of course you can all jump into Telegram groups, ask the team directly, and all that kind of good stuff. So for the most part, yeah, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧 has performed incredibly well. There was a bit of a push, as many of you are aware, right? Basically, as soon as Facebook launched or changed their name to Meta, what you ended up with was this huge price spike with pretty much most metaverse-based projects, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧 being one of them. Now, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧 is probably one of the ones that we're very familiar with on the channel. We've spoken about them before Facebook did their whole name change very early on, and we were wanting to get involved, but we still see there's potential to kind of see this thing drop down significantly in a bear market, where we'll probably enter into a couple of metaverse projects then, rather than trying to catch the wave ourselves. That being said, there is good money that will be happening here in metaverse, and specifically 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧, and if you want to, you could potentially catch that wave. It's not something that I'm doing. My bags are packed across various different industries. But yeah, there's definitely opportunities in here. And I'm going to go through what that is right now, right? So this is the daily chart. And the first thing we need to acknowledge is we haven't got a huge amount of information. Okay, so if I actually grab hold of this and we run this across here, we can see we've got 41 days worth. Now, this is data from KuCoin, right? So if we come back over to coin market cap, just shoot on down here, we can see where we actually have the token available, right? So you can buy 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀 on KuCoin, you can buy 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀 on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀, you can buy 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀 on PancakeSwap v2 or 𝗕𝗙𝗢nk. I've never heard of 𝗕𝗙𝗢nk, but you know, it is there. And you can also see the percentage of volume that actually goes through these exchanges, right? So KuCoin has 36% of the volume, and PancakeSwap with 42.3%. So always have to consider where the volume is. If you go to one of these lower exchanges like 𝗕𝗙𝗢nk here, for example, with 0.5%, your orders are very unlikely to get filled. Okay, they're going to take a very long time to fill those orders. It's the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀 sometimes has that problem, and you can see here, if you're doing it with an ETH pair, it's 0.8%, right? So you're not going to really get that filled if you're going to be doing large orders or sell orders, right? So it's always important to do acknowledge where the volumes are going, okay, if you want to get things, get that liquidity up there, okay? So those are the exchanges that you can find this on. If you are interested. So yeah, as you can see, right, this is the daily chart, really small data source. We are using KuCoin as it has the volume on it. You know, there's probably more data if we actually take a look at Hero on a different exchange. Let me see, what would we have? USDT. In fact, that's the only one I can do with USDT, so we'll stick there. Okay, so obviously with this data, we can acknowledge a couple of things. Obviously the launch right here. Okay, we obviously had a push up, pull back, and so forth. We obviously had the push down and then the pull back up. And right now we are looking at a pretty interesting move here. Now, what we would like to do is kind of acknowledge that this looks like an ABC move. Okay, so again, on this channel, we follow Elliott theory. And again, we can mark that up, right, as an ABC. Now, what's interesting about this is if we take the measurement of our A wave and we go ahead and throw this to the low of our B wave, we can see that we went impulsive here, right? So basically, the second that this crossed that 1.382, it's no longer an ABC move. Instead, it's a 135 move. Okay, so I'll go label that up now, and then we'll go and take a look at what's going on. So we have our 1, 2, 3, our pullback with 4, and we'll have to check this in a second. And now that fifth wave coming in. Okay, so let me just delete that fib for a sec. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move that 1 out of the way, and I'm going to move the 4 out of the way. Now, there's some rules when it comes to Elliott theory. Wave 4 cannot cross wave 1. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put a horizontal line just here. And what do you have? You have this thing exactly coming down to the level of 1. Okay, that means that this is not invalid, and we can continue with the fifth wave to the upside. Okay, then we can obviously acknowledge that we are tracking for this fifth wave to the upside. So this is the next kind of leg here with 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀. But how high is it likely to go? Now, wave 3 is usually the longest wave. It can sometimes be the second longest, but it's never the shortest. Okay, so we know that wave 1 is the shortest wave. We can kind of see that there. Okay, wave 5 could be shorter than wave 1, but I think that's unlikely. So the most probable thing to do here is actually draw on a fib. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this. And then we have some extensions. Okay, so we could say we'll be looking for a 4.236 extension here at 59 cents. Not a huge percentage gain though, okay, and we are super early, so we're not going to have a huge kind of data set to be working from. So this is going to give you a really small conservative target. I do anticipate this being much higher than this. That's 178%, okay, there. I think though that we might be tracking something slightly differently, okay. So it's always good to see that there is the potential for the fifth wave to the upside. This would basically make the third wave the second largest, okay. If we actually take this down into a more manageable area, like a 2.618 area, then the third wave is still the largest, then the fifth, then the first, right? So that shows us 100%. So basically double your money at that point, going up to about 43 cents. Okay, not the best kind of bull run, right? You know, just double your money. Not necessarily the best. There's definitely better coins to potentially be getting into to catch that last wave, right? If that's all that we're expecting. But I don't think that's all we're expecting. Okay, because this project is relatively new to KuCoin, we haven't got a huge amount of data to go by, specifically with the USDT pair. It's important that we also acknowledge that actually this starting run might not be what we're actually looking for. Okay, that might not be the ABC. In fact, this here might be our A, this might be our B, and we might be looking for that C, okay? It's too soon to say for certain, but we're going to know shortly as to whether or not this is a more probable outcome. Okay, if we throw that on there we go. This could then take us out towards that $1 level. You can see I've already marked the $1 level just there. Now that is a more plausible area. I do anticipate $1 coming in pretty comfortably with this particular project. Okay, so when we come to talk about like price predictions, it's also possible that this actually turns impulsive, right, as well. Okay, so when we actually take this and we actually take a look at this 1-for-1 ratio here at 35 cent is the likely like for like A to C, going past the so the 1.382, sorry, just there at 41.9 cent makes it impulsive. So this actually could become a 1 through 5 wave, right, rather than an ABC. So what I'll do is I'll quickly remove that, and what we can do is we could acknowledge that this potentially is our first wave. This is our second wave pullback with a third wave high, which we could anticipate just coming in short of that dollar level. A slight pullback with wave 4 and then a wave 5 higher. And as you can see, I've marked up a couple of things on here. Okay, $2, $2.50. I think these are actually where we should be aiming, right up here. Okay, for this particular project, given the magnitude of I guess exposure that it's had so far, and considering the I guess the narratives around metaverses right now, that seems like a pretty interesting area to be aiming for. Now, there are people out there talking about 100x. That, in my mind, is completely not possible, right? And I can show you what this looks like if I just quickly clean some of this up. I've done this before because when we actually zoom out, this is 100x right here. Okay, and the growth potential to get to there is quite high, right? It's not impossible, but it's very improbable. And to kind of see the price action that we've had so far is kind of like nothing in comparison to where it would have to go. It's not impossible to happen, but it would require a significant amount of money to flow into the project and for the existing holders to hodl it all the way through to $25. I don't think that's likely to happen, okay? And therefore, it's more probable that we'll end up with this about 1,000%, like a 10x on its current position. That's a more probable area considering how far we're into this bull run already. So for me, that's kind of where I'm aiming, at $2 to $2.50, and we'll see how the data kind of folds out in the coming kind of days and weeks to see if we get more data coming in, making sure that we are actually following this A through C move to start with, and then see if we can turn this ABC move into an impulsive move to the upside that will help us head towards that $2 and $2.50. So yeah, for me, MetaHero is a project that I'm not invested in. I will obviously be reviewing all of my projects during the bear market, and I think it will be a project that I will be seriously considering then. It's got great potential, but I don't get in late on bull runs. Bear markets are where I build my positions. That's where you make your money. And for me right now, I'm not going to be chasing green candles, but it is important to acknowledge that anyone who is holding MetaHero tokens or looking to potentially get into it, there is some upside still to be left on the table right now that you could potentially get hold of. But you do have to have some reasonable price expectations. My expectations are that this is not going to 100x. I don't think you're going to find another 100x coin at this point in the bull run. I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong. There are going to be some absolute gems out there, but they are incredibly rare and very, very hard to find. In terms of MetaHero, a 10x seems very plausible, pretty much in line with the rest of the crypto space with its kind of, I guess, trend at the moment. So overall, that's kind of where my mind is at with this particular project. But by no stretch of the imagination should this be considered, anything more than what it is, to understand that MetaHero is a fantastic project with great fundamentals, great team, great tech. They're trying to do something absolutely fantastic, but it is going to take time to get that delivered. It's also important to understand that there's a lot of FOMO activity when it comes to Metaverse projects at the moment, and lots of people with some wild expectations that I don't think are very feasible. So manage those expectations, and you should be okay in this space and with MetaHero as a token as well. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there. Hopefully you have found it useful and informative. if you have, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.